Hey, what's up, beatboxers? I have a suggestion for you that maybe you will or will not be interested in. Might be a weird thing for me to suggest to you, but I'm realizing what I love about a lot of the beatbox stuff. Look in, 'cause these are solo performers. The majority of them, solo performers. They have ensemble work, wild card crews and all that, tag teams and whatever else you want to call it. I would suggest if you want to maybe take your performance to another level, check out the highest, most famous solo, like classical performers. Think of like guitar or piano, because they are doing what the beatboxers are doing. They're responsible for bass, melody, any type of chord filler, rhythm, dynamics, articulation, phrasing. What are those small little nuances you can do in a performance that really take it from like an 8 to a 9.5? Small details. And I'm coming at it from a classical background. If you guys don't know, I have a master's degree in classical guitar performance. That doesn't mean I'm awesome, but I think I'm pretty good. But maybe I'm not. Maybe it's just in my head. But if you immerse yourself in solo performance, at least just listening, it can give you a lot of ideas. You never know what you can steal from a guitarist, a bass player, a pianist, and incorporate it in your own playing. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Brewer. This is my solo wildcard for the Grand Beatbox Battle 2024 World League.
Dude, that rhythm is nuts.
World League.
I don't wanna make it, it's so bright. If you're afraid, you can see this light. Something inside up in your mind. The shining light of the star sky.
So let's point out some things real quick, because I'm like, there's something, there's always a lot of stuff going on. The really crazy tonal difference between his bass and his kind of falsetto-y head voice, raspy singing, and the rhythm on his percussion is very odd. It's not typical at all. But what is typical is his bass. His bass is rhythmically boom. So the bass is rhythmically very uninteresting. The drums are extremely interesting, and then the melodic section he's singing with his voice sounds completely different tonally than the rest. So he's managing to use multiple tools, right? He's not using rhythm for the bass. He's using rhythm for the percussion. And he's using tonal contrast between the bass and the melody. Contrast. Contrast. Oh, I just did it. I said contrast. I said contrast. As soon as you do something that contrasts, either tonally, volumely, whatever, it has the ability of making the listener go, ooh, what's that? What happened there?
The shining light of the star sky.
Oh, is he humming the bass? Because he's doing the while the bass is coming out. Ooh, how's he doing? That's cool. His bass is so strong while he's still doing the little hi-hat sound.
The shining light of the star sky. The light of the star sky.
Now we have a section with more rhythm. Now it's bass focused. Always shifting the focus. I don't know why I'm going this direction with this reaction. It's just where my mind is. Don't take this the wrong way if you're just an audience member, but as a performer, one thing I think is helpful to think of the audience kind of like a cat. That all you gotta do is roll something shiny and they go, huh, what's that? So like it doesn't have to be much. You know, cats love twist ties and boxes and things that cats get excited about all types of weird things and they just lose their mind for a second and then they're bored. Throw something shiny out. They'll get bored. Throw something else shiny out.
Sky.
Nice editing.
Supernova explosion.
Oh, all right. So for a second, I was like, he's doing a bass swell, but he's not really doing a bass swell. A swell, I guess, a swell. I should say it differently. Instead of swelling by pitch, wow, right? He's changing like his embouchure, or I don't know which way you want to call it, depending on what instrument you play. To me, it's the same effect as a wah-wah pedal. Wow, 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 wow. But he's not being that dramatic with it. And I was talking about this on the Wildcard Crew video, that sometimes changing the tonal aspects of a note makes it appear to be significantly louder or softer. But it's really the amount of high-end frequencies versus low-end frequencies that's given the illusion of a change of volume, or a more dramatic change than maybe the performer's actually doing. And I think that's what we're getting here with this wow, 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 wow. When it goes wide, it cuts. It's still the same pitch. It's still the same overall frequency, but it punches you right in the dick. Yeah.
We will burn this house.
That's such a weird rhythm he chose. That's definitely out of every.
My name is.
Hold on, you hippie. Maybe you're dope. Maybe you're not. But this is not the time to find out. Out of all the last, I guess all the last videos I've done have all been Terrace, Hayana, and I think I threw a codfish in there, maybe. Anyways, I will say the number one thing that sticks out to me in this performance is the really odd rhythm of the percussion. And how he somehow managed to maintain that really odd percussion while doing those super low end bass notes. Nothing else I've listened to in the last week or so had any of those characteristics. And there's something to be said for odd rhythms, because they're odd. Maybe they're not odd to the performer, but they're odd to us as the listener. At least they're odd to me as I'm listening to it. And as the person who's doing all the parts, bass, melody, drums, percussion, you have to maintain your tempo and maintain the odd rhythm you've chosen for the song. And I think it does really showcase an immense amount of skill to hold your tempo, play a fucking odd rhythm, and still put everything where it needs to be. You know what's crazy? Is that, I went to music school, right? Before that, I did a business information science degree, information technology degree. But when I was in formal classical instruction, what struck me is the lag time between when things change in the world and when they're codified, and then when they become part of a curriculum. So all of a sudden I'm thinking, man, like, what if in 20 years there's a professor of beatbox at the music school? I'm sure some institute of music has a beatboxer on their faculty staff or whatever. But I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but for the classical guitar, a lot of institutions started that stuff in the late 70s. Classical guitar has been around for like safely 170 years. Safely. If you just want to say guitar, classical playing, you could really easily push it back before that, but the instrument wasn't quite the same. It took 100 years for it to have a position in the school of music. What? So with beatboxing, if you want to say beatboxing, I don't know when you'll say it started. I have no idea. 70s, 80s? Maybe? So it's been 40 years? So like maybe in 20 to 30 more years, there'll be a faculty position, the professor of beatbox. Weirder shit happens. Dude, what are you working on? I'm working on my undergraduate degree in what? Beatbox performance and composition. Where? At the University of fill in the fucking blank. I just think that's weird to think of. It is weird. Come on. Click. Click. I'm hitting click. It won't stop. Click.